Our word for today is touched, taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 14. We see in verse 36, people brought to him all those who were sick and begged him that they might touch only the tassel on his cloak, and as many as touched it were healed. Well, what does this tell us? It doesn't say as many as touched him or as many as he touched. No, it says as many as touched the tassel on his cloak were healed. The Lord God's desire is to bring us fullness, brothers and sisters. His desire is to heal us. His desire is to speak to that brokenness within us, those wounds within us. Yes, some self-inflicted, but he is not mindful of that. He's only mindful of wanting to touch us, to bring us back to wholeness in him, and that we might cling to him and know that he is our source of healing. We see earlier in this Gospel of Matthew chapter 14, Jesus had just fed the crowd of 5,000 with the 5 barley loaves and the 2 fish. So Jesus made his disciples get into a boat after that and proceed him to the other side of the sea while he dismissed the crowds. After doing so, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray, and when it was evening, he was there alone. What is he doing? He knows too that he needs that touch. So he's with his Father, communicating with him, being in relationship with him, receiving that touch from him that he himself needs, that he might go out and minister to all those that he is called to minister to. When the disciples, then he sent, again, we see at the beginning of this reading that he has sent the disciples into a boat to proceed him to the other side. And we know what happens. They're out in the middle of the sea, and there's this great storm. And we can almost tell the time of day. Jesus had performed this miracle, and then we see that he's praying by himself a little later in the evening. Then we're told that the disciples encounter him as they're in the boat in the middle of the storm in the 4th watch of the night. That's between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. They have been enduring this storm for quite some time now. They've been in the middle of the storm for hour upon hour, wondering if they were even going to survive the thing. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and they cried out in fear, and at once Jesus spoke to them. Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. Peter said to him in reply, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. He said, come. But when he saw how strong the wind was, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately, Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, O you of little faith, why did you doubt? What did he do? He touched him. Jesus said, Lord, save me. And Jesus reached out and grabbed him, right? So he touched him. He made himself present to him. He made his physical presence present to him. He used that body that he had taken on to save us to pull Peter up from sinking from that water. Yes, he brought him healing through his touch. He wants to do the same with us, brothers and sisters. And like Peter, sometimes we have to cry out, Lord, save me. Lord, save me. There's no other way that this is going to work unless you intervene on my behalf. Will you please save me in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the struggle? Will you reach out your hand and save me as well through your divine touch? Touched, our word for today.